Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited for you to be here. My name is Denise Williams, and this is the Financially Focused platform. I just love bringing you updates. Oh, I'm so excited. The market shot up 40%. So, not the entire market, just some select stocks shot up 40%. And of course, there are other profiting, income generating opportunities in the market. We're going to talk about them. I'm so excited. How did you profit? Are you profiting? Do you have mentorship? Do you have coaching to help you profit? Well, you know that's what we do at Financially Focused. But right now, we're going to talk about the headlines and information that's going to help you to profit. Okay, so let's look at corporate news. Revenge travel was the story for 2023. Not only that, so many people went into travel businesses because of the pent up demand for travel in 2023 because of course coming out of the pandemic when you couldn't travel, right? So Skyscanner, this travel device, this travel software, this travel website, Skyscanner, their 2024 outlook, and it's based on looking at 80 billion prices. Oh my word. 52 countries, 32 languages. So the research company sifted through all of that data, came up with some trends for 2024. So cultural exploration will be big in 2024. So how are you setting yourself up to make money from cultural exploration? Is this something, are you in the travel business? Are you in the Airbnb business? What are you into? And for those of you who don't want, to deal with the travel business or an Airbnb, you could buy, companies that do that work, right? So you could participate through the stock market. So it's an option. So cultural exploration, luxury for less vacation will also be trending. So people are on a budget, but that doesn't mean their desires, their tastes are on a budget, right? And persons say that they were willing to upgrade though. So from better quality of food on board flights to upgrading to business or first class, right? So travel is a top priority in 2024, even though people are saying their budgets are squeezed, okay? 81% of the persons who were surveyed by Skyscanner say they plan to travel the same or if not more in 2024, while 76% saying they're going to spend the same money they spent in 2023 in 2024. So how are you positioning to profit? Okay, need mentorship, need coaching? Drop me a line. So let's move on. The microfinance industry is actually 2% of the economy. Wow. Remember that microfinance really came out of the idea that persons who are low income earners or who don't have the best banking relationship should not be left out of the financial sector, right? Here, the Bank of Jamaica, which is the regulatory agency for the microfinance industry under the Microfinance Act of 2021, notes that the industry manages a loan balance of $46 billion, right? So that's about 2% of gross domestic product, which is GDP. And that's the metric for the size of the economy, the national economy. So, members of the microfinance industry, they charge as much as 1.5 or 2% a week on interest in loans, when people borrow for them. So it's possible that someone's paying 104% on a loan. I mean, wow. Can you imagine 104% on a loan. That's serious. Okay. And there are 143 of these companies, microfinance companies, registered with the Bank of Jamaica, because now it's the law since, the act passed in 2021. The idea is to bring more transparency in the sector. All right. So let's move on. So Senator Floyd Morris paints grim economic picture for persons with disabilities, right? And this is like, whoa. So Senator Floyd Morris, director of the UE Center for Disability Studies in Mona, made several points outlining why Jamaica is not on track to meet the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for 16% of the Jamaican population that is living with a disability. According to Senator Morris, approximately 450,000 persons in the country are either blind or visually disabled, deaf or hard of hearing, mentally ill, intellectually disabled, physically disabled, speech impaired, have a learning disability, or some form of neurological disorder. Now, for those who have followed Financially Focused, my son has an intellectual disability. And so this is really, tugs at my heart. Senator Morris knows that 80% of the disabled population in Jamaica are living in poverty. Additionally, 80 to 90% of these individuals are unemployed. Senator Morris knows that employers, by and large, view these individuals as defective labor and therefore pose significant problems to their business. Further research shows that only 23% of the educational institutions in Jamaica are accessible for persons with disability, and that most of the teachers in the system are not trained to relate to these individuals. And Senator Morris' prescription is a seismic shift in the employment landscape in Jamaica for persons with disabilities. Okay. Yeah. So let's move on to the stock market. So, pharmaceutical organization Indies Pharma Jamaica Limited released its unaudited financials for the 12 months ended October 31, 2023. They had a 13% in revenue, totaling 1.06 billion, compared to 937.28 million in the corresponding period last year. So as such, net profit for the 12 months amounted to 210 million, a 5% decrease from 2022 when it earned $220 million. Okay, now this is some fun information. Burita and Mayberry Investments, they control 35% of the investment market, or 1/3, just two companies. Imagine that. So with each company releasing independent reports to the media, it would seem that the two companies are in a little competition to see, who's doing better than who, right? So it was reported that Burita Investments, through its parent company, Cornerstone Financial Services, has 360 billion in assets under management, which represents approximately 20% of the investment market. Mayberry Group Limited reports that it now holds 240 billion in funds under management. So the revelation of its clients' fund along with its own portfolio puts the company at roughly 15% of the funds under management market. So that is Burita at 20, Mayberry at 15, 20 plus 15 is 35. Very impressive. Okay. So let's look at what happened in Jamaica Stock Exchange on December 15th. That's Friday. So the top advancing stocks cover distribution, financial, and energy sectors in Jamaica. So distribution and flavoring company, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited, the shares advanced 40%. Woohoo! That's big. Added 50 cents to close at $1.75. Do you appreciate you don't need big numbers to make big gains? Up next is the collection of manufacturing and distribution stocks owned by Sagicor on behalf of shareholders. Named Sagicor Select Funds Limited Manufacturing and Distribution. Those shares advanced 14.81%, jumped by 8 cents, closed at 62 cents in trading. Okay. Soon to be renamed by its new energy distribution company owners, Siboney Group Limited. The shares advanced 14.68% for a 16-cent improvement in price to close at $1.25. Now, of course, if you have things that go up, you got things that go down. So on the declining stocks, the top three losers for December 15 were utilities, real estate, and the distribution sector. Okay? And so Jamaica Public Service, that company, right, their 7% preference share, that company declined by 10% to shave off $4.50 to close at $40. Real estate company Stanley Motor Limited, their ordinary shares declined by 7.11% to drop by 43 cents to close at $5.62. And investment firm QWI Investments Limited declined by 6.45% or 4 cents to close at 58 cents. Over at the Trinidad Stock Exchange, JMMB Group was the volume leader with 97,000 shares changing hands for a value of TT $126,000, followed by the West Indian Tobacco Company Limited with a volume of 13,000 shares being traded for TT $120,000. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, the Caribbean is open. It's open for business. So think about it. And again, do you need coaching? Do you need financial coaching? Right? Need somebody to hold your hand? Here I am. All right, moving on. In the foreign exchange report. Now, remember that profit in the forex market is literally made every time you trade. Every single one currency you trade on, you make a profit. Okay? So there was 23 million US traded on the US market and 27 million sold on the US market to forex traders. And so the buying directly from Bank of Jamaica, the forex traders sold the US for 156 and 3 cents, bought the US dollars for 154.97 cents. So the difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.36, which represents a profit, yeah, to forex traders for every US dollar sold. Now, again, it's not just the US. You got the Canadian dollar. So Canadian forex traders earn a profit of $3.19 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. Okay? So the Canadian dollar was sold at $118.09 and bought for $114.93. Again, they made a profit of $3.19 on every single transaction. That adds up. Ladies and gentlemen, invest in learning how to trade forex. Invest in learning how to trade on the stock market. Invest in learning how to build your real estate portfolio. Invest in you. All right. And we're going to wrap up the forex market report with the British pound. The traders there, they made $6.51 for every single British pound traded. They sold for $1.99.28 and they bought for $1.92.77. So you just see all you do is adding and subtracting the buy rate from the sell rate, and you see the profit. So now let's talk about the credit report tip of the day. So, as the holiday season can lead to increased expenses and potential debt, it's crucial to strategize your credit repair efforts. So remember, recovering from holiday debt is a gradual process, and consistency is key. So with that, we wrap up. I really appreciate your company. I want you to stay informed about the different markets, about your credit report. How do you do credit repair? And so I want you to stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, I want you to take care. My name is Denise Williams, and I really, really, really appreciate you spending time with us. Bye.